Hello everyone, welcome to Crowdfunding Countdown, where we're going to take a look at every single board game campaign finishing up in the next week. But before we do that, I want to give a huge shout out to my newest patron, Ryan. Thank you so much for jumping on board, supporting the channel. You know you're awesome by now. It's episode 145, okay? You're all amazing. You're all incredible. You're all people who I put your faces on my face and dance and look at myself in the mirror, very similar to Buffalo Bill. Just hoping one day I can be as cool as all of you. But you know what's cool? Looking at a bunch of games, judging them, and then not spending a cent. Because that's what we're going to do. Let's look at the first game up for this week. Imperfect Crimes, this actually will finish today. This should have been in last week's episode, but it's in today's week because I missed it. I missed it, and then they were a sponsor of the R&R show, and I thought, oops, I missed it in my breakdown. Generally, I like to give a breakdown of whenever there are escape rooms. I find that relevant. Maybe somebody will be interested in escape rooms, maybe like unlocks or whatever. This is a 5 puzzle escape room that you can get. So you basically get 5 puzzles for $100 Canadian. That's not bad. I think it's 5 puzzles. You're going to have 5 different rooms, and then there's going to be an overarching mystery to deal with. And you get it for 35% off retail price. So when you see that in the store, and you see them everywhere in stores, and you see them at the retail price in the stores, you can think, no, look at me. I got myself a deal. As you see them just everywhere in every store, completely different. It's completely different. But I think it's kind of cool, you know, that idea of the 3D objects. This reminds me of the Shivers, which honestly is not that good. I was very underwhelmed by it. I played the base mission and then realized I never want to play it ever again, as a lot of base missions make you feel, right? If it's not exciting off the get and it's not worthwhile continuing, or it doesn't give you that feeling of like, yeah, you really need to continue, I find I have a hard time doing that. But yeah, if you like escape rooms, not the worst thing to try out. Oh, each crime scene consists of 2 rooms, the front and the back. Ah, okay, that's kind of cool. On the back, the reality, it was all a movie set. Oh, well, look at that. That's how you know it's just a pop-up book you're looking at. It was a movie set all along. It was fake all along. So yeah, if you're interested in that, you can check that out. The finish is today at 7 p.m. 6:59. Apologies. Save that minute. Yeah, feel free to check it out. Moving along, we've got Incubo. Tommy and his cat, Alpha, fight their fears and nightmares to save their sister, Nina, captured by the night monsters. Night monsters. I wonder if they come in a night Okay, let's see what it's all about. All right, this is a cooperative deck building game for 2 players with some push your luck elements. You take on the roles of a child Tommy and his best friend Alpha. My big issue with this game, my main issue, is this story of this game. You're going on this story where it's you and your cats, Nina and Alpha, and then you meet this other cat, Lana. And then you never speak of Lana again. You go home, Nina gets kidnapped, and then Alpha and Tommy, you, the little boy, just go out on this adventure. And Lana, who just apparently fooled us all with their rambunctious energy, is never spoken of whatsoever again. I don't know this narrative, and I need to find out. Justice for Lana, or friggin' screw you, Lana. You're just sleeping at home after Nina's been kidnapped? How do we know it's not Lana who kidnapped them? Trying to replace them in Tommy's heart. I mean, that's the obvious theory, right? Maybe Lana ate them. Maybe it was Lana the whole time and Nina never existed. Maybe Nina died in that fire 10 years ago. Maybe you're just dreaming, because the game is divided into 3 REM phases, each culminating in a confrontation with a terrifying monster, such as dirty laundry, teeth monsters, responsible for dental caries, and more. So it seems like you're just, okay, it's just a nightmare. Or is it? That's the twist. It wasn't a nightmare this whole time. Those teeth monsters were real. They weren't just Grandma Gladys's masticators. You'll play 1 card at a time from your courage deck after you are facing the appropriate deck of dreams. Yeah, this is what I don't understand. You'll face the monster. How to play. I thought that's what we were on. All right. After you draw a card, you add it to one of 3 rows. The play row, the pass row, the elimination row. Regardless of the row, the courage value of each card will count when facing a dream. You and the other player keep drawing cards until you reach the amount of courage required by the dream. Okay, so it's a timer, it's a clock. Hey, buddy. Speaking of alpha, that's not you. Yes. Are you going to save your brother? No, you'd rather keep him in a hole. Or you decide to stop playing and suffer terror. Ooh. Okay, so you have to defeat these dreams by playing a certain number of courage, I guess. And then you get to add it to somebody's deck. If you put it in the pass row, it goes to the other player's discard pile. If it goes into the play row, it goes into your own discard pile. Elimination row, back to the box. So you can just basically curate and how you pass back and forth. It seems like it would be pretty obvious, though, when this is so boosted up, and that's 0. And finally, when you fight the monsters, you can only play them, so it has to go back into your deck, yeah, because you've already crafted it. I'm just a bit curious by, like, how you get cards, how you decide who gets the cards, when you go confront the dream, don't know where the dreams are coming from, so. In each phase, you focus on dream cards to add to your deck. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm interested in. Oh, so they'll start off slow, 0, 0, 1, right? Okay, that makes sense. Those 3 sheep that we saw, those are the 3 rem phases, so you can shuffle it up. That gets variability. That's good. Then you face dream cards, you face the monster. Choose a dream card. First, draw a certain amount of cards from the appropriate rem deck. First rem phase, you draw the top card. That's it. Second rem phase, you draw 2, and you choose which one to face and which one to go into rem 3. Then in rem 3, you're going to draw 3, and you pick one and you put the others in the box as you level up. Oh, and then you have to roll your dice. You roll the d4 and add it to the value of one of your sheep. D6, D10. So there might be a variable value of how much courage you need to overcome it. Okay, I do like that whatever cards you play, you're also adding to your partner's tally, and you're choosing if they go into the other partner's row or not. That, I guess, makes it a little bit different, because you can choose if you want to hold on to things that help boost your partner in that back and forth idea, except I think you can play as many cards as you want. Yeah, no specific turn order. So then you're just always giving the best one to the person who it belongs to. Monsters work kind of in the same way. There's a little symbol of, like, draw a card, right? Both players return 1 card to the deck, choose one. It seems okay. The base pledge is way better than the Sweet Dreams pledge and a postcard. Base pledge, 25 US, 34 Canadian, and then shipping is approximately 11 US. It would be like $50 for me. I don't think this is bad. It'd be 36 for you if you're in the US. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. It doesn't really draw me in that much. I would be interested maybe to try it, but I'm not, like, necessarily chomping at the bit to do it. But you know what? I'm happy it's funded. Congratulations. I'm glad that happened. And if you're interested, that finishes on the 11th at 4 a.m. The 11th, that is Thursday. All right, next up we have Rise of the Wastelands. In this 4X apocalyptic game, resources are scarce. The remaining survivors fight to rule the Wastelands. Well, that video looks fun. What have you done in the past, Wolfhorn Games? Did you try doing this before and it didn't work? Oh, Stellar Expedition. Space adventure board game. Maybe before my time. Honestly, I forget how long I've been doing this. 3 years? I think it's been 3 years, yeah. So I probably should have covered this. Well, if I did, I forget it completely. But we're going to look at this one for sure. Woo, seems like I did. Look at that. What did you have to say about it, past Chris? Apparently it looked neat, looked lightweight. Look at that. See, I do look at a bunch of stuff. I like how this board looks like it's going to expand too. I'm interested in what sort of actions you get to take. They showed some action cards in the video that I'm also interested in to see if they give you any examples of what you can do. I like the limited amount of actions and the amount of actions that you can take. I think that is an exciting type of game for me. So let's see if it's worth its €59, 87 Canadian price. It's like $100. It does look neat though. 30 minutes per player. Explore, scavenge resources. You can upgrade your outposts so that they're even better. Oh, or with the plastic minis, it's $89. Standard retail, wooden miniatures. Yeah, those look better. Yeah, give me the wood. I like that. I really like seeing where the wood version seems more excited than the deluxe version. Yeah, this will be sort of a one and done print run with this small a company, that's for sure. Ooh, screen printed resource cube upgrade. That's fun. Oh, if they do more. Yeah. These are some nice, tasty stretch goals that if I were back in this game, I would desperately want to unlock. Rulebook, yeah, let's check it out. You know, in the game summary, they should really tell you how to win, not just the flavor text of how to win. There we go. Winning the game. Spread at least 5 of your influence tokens among other players. That's how you win. When the game is over, if only one player has been able to accomplish this, they are declared the winner. In the event that 2 or more players have achieved that, the player that has given away more influence tokens wins the game. So the game will end at a certain point, and then you will win if you have 5, or whoever has the most. You can claim achievements, or you can defeat the capital of another player. So combat or various achievements. Yeah, and I do love on their campaign page, you can tell it was just copied and pasted with the gameplay. When it starts with first, check if you have any claimed achievements. Whenever it says sort of first, that's like very rulebook language. And so I was very happy to see that it was reflected here as well. Here are the actions that they're highlighting, and they have movable gifts. So I'm going to use this one. You can explore the wasteland. Your scout has to be adjacent. You flip it, you rotate it how you want, etc. You draw a card from the exploration deck and you resolve it. Do you draw more than one? Oh, this is cool. When you're claiming achievements, you get to claim the easy one, and then if somebody wants to also claim that achievement, they have to do a harder version of that, which I think is pretty neat. In smartphone, it's the opposite to keep that race going, but here the race is at the forefront, which is kind of cool. Wow, building an outpost costs you 3 action points. Cool. Explore only costs you 1. It's not going to be a lot of exploring to do. You draw a card from the exploration event deck and resolve it. So you don't get your choice. They were just showing you some different options, I suppose. You can improve your outposts so you collect more resources. Oh, this is the buy. Ugh, I hate that I'm going back and forth. It's a bit confusing, but that's fine. I'm just going to stick with this one because it's got the gifts. I like these techs. The flow of the game seems cool. I just want to figure out how to win. Oh yeah, how to win is you do objectives or you take out the opponent's capital. How many rounds is the game? Oh, I see, because you can get more than 1 achievement at that last round. So very Istanbul, you could get 2 gems and then overthrow somebody, but the end of the game, rather, is triggered when you have those 5 influences. So you're just trying to claim those achievements. That's it, run around, and only 5 of them. Yeah, what's the shipping on this? Probably very expensive. Let's see. Yeah, North America, 20 to 22 euro. That's actually not bad. If I remember from the last time, well, I do because I watched Past Chris, young and so full of hope for the world, and tell me all about how expensive the shipping was. But in Netherlands, you have options for local pickup, which is cool. Yeah, Europe, UK, 10 to 17 euro. North America, 20 to 22 euro. So for me, that would be about $120, $115 Canadian to get it to my door. Definitely looks cool. That's just a wooden version, although I think the wooden version looks better. Yeah, I like this one a lot. If you like 4X, I think this one would be definitely worth taking a look at. That finishes Thursday, July 11th at 6:01 a.m. Moving along to the Necrohamster, looting hell. Delve into hell, loot powerful artifacts, and recruit demons in the expansion to the Necrohamster card game. I remember the Necrohamster. I remember it just being pretty basic, but let's see what this new expansion brings. Well, that video was awful. You're just summoning a bunch of creatures. The winner is the player who has amassed the greatest horde of undead creatures by the time any player has summoned their 8th creature. You draw from a communal deck. Discard cards equal to somebody's summon cost. You can always draw back up to 3, so 3 seems pretty difficult. Then once everybody's summoned a creature, you get to use an ability. So it's a little, Tick Daddy Fest, whatever. Or engine building as you ramp up your little engine deck. As you try to go forth, right? They all have different abilities. Instantly draw a card. Whenever you play a card, draw a card. All around that idea of drawing cards. But there's probably some that can affect your opponent as well. So what does looting hell do? So you need to summon a specific creature in order to get those artifacts. Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's probably too expensive for me. £12 for the expansion, £16 for the base game, that's $30 Canadian, or for all of it, it's 46 Canadian, and then plus shipping, so probably like $60. I mean, again, seems like a fine card game, would be interested maybe for $15, but not 4 times that, right? You have to really be a fan of the art style to even consider it. And nothing really that bad about the game. I think you're just going to get a bunch of random cards, but choosing what cards to summon, sure, there might be some fun engine building there. I think it won't be that deep or that interesting, but, the art's fun. So if you're interested in that, it finishes Thursday, July 11th at 9:11 a.m. Moving along to this one, The Last Command, a dual deck building game about 2 starships in broadsides battle. Let's see. Okay, kind of like a Star Realms-esque. You have to eradicate the fleet that's in front of you. You have to get dual deck building, so you have a crew deck and a ship deck, and both are going to give you powers. See, Star Realms, the best space-themed deck building game. Last command, hold my beer. I like the idea of dual deck building. Cards are drawn one at a time and from either deck, allowing you to control the speed at which each one is built up and played. That's cool. I really, really like that idea of one at a time. That seems very exciting to me because you can draw, see if you get the things that you want, and then pivot over, right? That seems cool. Match crew to expertise to system cards that are locked in. Yeah, I want to see how you put those system cards in. Oh, station crew, a limit of 3, so you kind of put them down there. They might have consistent effects. Yeah, let's check out the rulebook, I think. Yes, I know, you're going to get something after I finish this one thing, and then I'm going to go to bed, too. Cool, you start with asymmetric decks. Neat. Goal of upgrading their ship and eventually destroying their opponent's ship. Card phase. Play card from your hand. Most system cards have a power cost that must be paid when played, and so you probably just pay that with crew cards. So essentially your crew are probably your action efficiency, and your system cards let you do fun, cool things. So you're never going to be able to draw 5 system cards, likely, because you probably won't have enough power. Yeah, to play a crew card from your hand, you place it under one of the 3 systems. You kind of can build over your system cards. That's interesting. So they're kind of one time. I don't mind that. Yeah, so you want to match up basically the crew with wherever the systems are. Yeah, I'm just curious because it says you build over it. Can be played on top of other system cards already present in the system, yeah. But only the top gets a bonus. And then how much health does everybody start with? Looks like 20? Maybe that's not bad for one-time abilities. I think it's going to go by quick. Yeah, I like this. So what's the price? Not 10. 39. 54 Canadian. Dang. Was hoping it would be like a steal of a deal that could then encourage taking the risk. And then they're just trying to throw a bunch of card expansions at you as we go to the Grand Admiral, 499? Jeez. Is there some rich aunt? One person. Oh. Design a crew card. Receive a special one-of-a-kind finished in rush ordered Game Crafter copy of the last command. So you can really get it immediately. Well, so you can get a less good version. Recorded in lore as the Grand Admiral of the fleet. All right, shipping, US, $9. UK, $4. That's nice. Canada, 25. Jeez. So for me, this is, yeah, that's too bad. It's like an $80 game, which it's certainly, I do not want to spend $80 when I have $20 Star Realms. However, it does look good. Yeah, I can't knock it. So that finishes Thursday, July 11th at 11 a.m. We're going to move on tomorrow. Okay, we're back. We're back with Crabs in a Bucket Shrimpocalypse, the first expansion for the clawfully acclaimed shedding card game Crabs in a Bucket. Save our crab heroes from Shrimpocalypse. You see, if you just write like clawfully acclaimed, then people think it's actually acclaimed, and it's not just crazy 8s with 22 jokers in them, which, according to past Chris, that's what it was. I'm going to take a look at what this new expansion adds into it. Maybe it adds any complexity, but I'm gonna guess probably not. But fun fact, Crabs in the Bucket ended the same week as Earth and Unsettled. So, there you go. And something else too. Oh yeah, Western Legends, a big box of Western Legends. That was a good week. Crabs in the Bucket had a hard time standing out then. It still has a hard time standing out now, even in this week filled with games that I don't know or care about. Sorry. But maybe it'll be different this time. Let's see. Well, it's pretty much the same. And if you want to get the full thing now, it'll cost you $40 plus shipping, like $60 for a very simple card game, right? I don't mean to be mean, but it just isn't worth that much. If somebody had it, I would play it. Seems like a quick, easy thing. You're just playing cards. Who doesn't like a card game, right? But that being said, fairly random. There's things that just make you reveal your whole hand, and you go, oh, you've got a Horseman of the Shrimpocalypse? Great. I'm not going to play mine because whoever plays the last one apparently wins. And, yeah, but I mean, I like that they're adding more stuff. It's always fun to add new abilities, and the new abilities will make a card game like this more zany and more interesting. So I'm down for that. But again, what's shipping? Like 25 to Canada. I don't see a world in which anyone other than the United States should be interested in getting this, and even that, not so much either. But it's raised a bunch of money, so clearly there were big fans of the previous one, and that's very exciting. So I'm very happy for them that it is funded, and that finishes Thursday, July 11th at 12:08 p.m. Let's move it along to BubbleNet, a meditative multiplayer solitaire game based on the real natural phenomenon of humpback whales fishing using spirals of bubbles. It sounds, neat. I mean, the spiral bubble thing. The game, I guess we'll see. I saw a couple of people who I know in that saying BubbleNet in the... Was it a rap? Was it a rap? I think we'll call it a rap. So you're going to move a bubble, and you don't get caught in a bubble net. That's pretty much it. 5 bubbles, 24 fish, 2 podmate tokens. Every round, move a bubble from the back of the stream to the front. Is there a decision? No. This bubble is simulating the stream of bubbles blown by the first whale deep underwater. The last bubble bursts as the new one emerges from the whale's blowhole. Okay, sure. Whenever you move a bubble into a new segment, it moves all the fish in that lane by 1 space. Okay, so it's pushing things forward and into your belly being the middle of the spiral, as all bellies are known for, being spiral-shaped. That's why I'm so confused when people ask me if I have an innie or an outie. I say, I have a weird dangly spiral. It goes in and out. It's like a duck. No, we're not going to finish that sentence. I honestly, I haven't had it checked out yet because I fear it will reveal things about my anatomy that I'm too afraid to learn. I'd rather live in blissful ignorance. There's a pod mate. Okay, so you got a herd. There are 2 tokens that you can use. Stops fish from escaping. Well, I guess the fish can escape in some. The fish respond. The deck of fish cards represent the attempt the fish make to escape. So they swim towards the exit. If the segment is blocked by a whale or a bubble, the fish do not move at all. So you're moving around, you're creating well, you know what? I see it now. You're creating a bubble net. I see it now. So they move out or they move in. I certainly hope that you choose where you put your bubble, because that would be ludicrous if you could not. You're competing against yourself. It's a win if you got enough to eat. So it's just, it really is a multiplayer solo game. It is a solo game that they're giving you 4 copies of. Okay, I would like to see the rulebook. Certainly hope you have it, because I do not know from that description if when you move a bubble, you have to put it at the beginning of your line. Or if you can put it at any spot. And it just has to be ahead, right? Presumably you're going to Takedo that and just move it one at a time and interact with one of the least interesting mechanics in board gaming, which is the path, which is, it almost always makes sense for me just to go at the front of the line instead of 1 space more in front of the line. Your decision is like this or that. You have the appearance of possibilities in something like this in Takedo, but really it's just go to the first one. That's kind of what it feels like right now. Okay, remove the last bubble on the spiral track, the one in the segment closest to the start of the spiral, and place it at the next open bubble location at the front of a set of bubbles, so that you have 5 bubbles in sequence with no empty bubble location. So what's the game? You place your pod mates to block some fish. Okay, so they can rotate, and then you just have to hope that you don't flip up a fish that moves? What's the game? This feels like it's predetermined. Are there any decisions to be made? The pods, I guess, are the decisions. I don't see the game. Oh no. These quotes are really good because the designers get to make a joke and don't have to say anything about the game, which I don't see the game. Am I missing something here? Or am I going to spend enough? Am I going to read this thing again? And so then it just comes down to where you place your pods, such as you have 5 bubbles in sequence, no empty bubble locations. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a bubble net. It would just be a bubble waggly whip. Push all the fish. Place your pod mates. You're herding more fish in. So it is just where do you place this pod mate? And it blocks stuff. And you're like, oops, hope I don't draw the card. Flip one of the fish cards. Oh my god. I mean, I learned something new about whales, There are 0 cats in this game. There are 0 trains in this game. There is almost zero decision-making space in this game. That's my quote. I'm sorry, BubbleNet. I wish I could find anything nice to say, and I feel bad that I can't. So we're going to move on. That finishes Thursday, July 11th at 1:01 p.m. We're moving on to Fungi of the Far Realms. Oh, no, we're not. This isn't a game, but it sounds cool. An illustrated guide to fictional mushrooms compatible with all tabletop role-playing games. So if you wanted to add a bunch of mysterious magic mushrooms for your players to eat, you can check that out. I don't know. The art's nice, so I guess I'll leave it in. But we're actually going to move on to this one, Sovereign, Fall of Wormwood, a sci-fi tactical card game for 2 to 4 players with gorgeous art and detailed world. And a detailed world? No, just detailed world. No, and detailed world. Fight, bluff, or negotiate your way to victory. Well, definitely stick to the end on that one because the creator makes it interesting. This trailer makes me not care whatsoever. This is like a TCG, but a trading card game, a tactical card game, or a TCG, a tactical card game. Who knows? I'm going to assume trading card game was the acronym, but maybe I've been doing it wrong all this time with bluffing and worker placement, which is interesting. Expandable, not collectible. I think that's an important distinction. I mean, all games are expandable when they add a bajillion expansions to them, but you're going to pick a faction. I like the faction. I like that you could be a friggin' crab rider. I think that's the smart one to lead with. That's the coolest one. And you just smash each other. Each deck is going to be asymmetric, which is also interesting to me. There's a lot going on here. So you can get 6 decks in the base game, or 10 decks in the expansion for an additional $20. Still, it's 103 Canadian, or it's 76 Canadian plus shipping will make it to like 100 for me for a 2-player head-to-head card game. Well, maybe not, because it's got worker placement. So let's see. I do like that. This is the stuff that I like, though. I like the vibe of TCGs, but I really don't like deck construction. There's too many options. I don't want any cards to feel left out. Oh, Game of Sovereign only draws through about a third of your deck. There you go. So 10 cards. You're only going to see 10 cards in your game. Throw the other ones out the door. Just open your door and throw them out. There's a lot of world building set. It started as a script, which is cool, but here's how to play. Your goal is to score 10 echoes any way you can. Build them yourself, steal them from other players. Your citizens are born into 2 possible castes, talents and drones. You gain 2 citizens every turn. Use them to work in your colony or send them to war. Okay, so those are like your resources. This is where the worker placement aspect comes in. Cards that are placed face down in the forge where they'll build over time. You can accelerate production by working your talents harder, but they'll become drones as a result. Okay, so we have the creatives and the lesser people. Ooh, that's not obnoxious at all. But it works for a post-apocalyptic society, I guess. You have your drones and you have your talents. Your special people, your main characters, and then me. Just kidding. I'm the talent. I said that to my friend Sarah, this was our first meeting too. We were in a Tim Hortons. I said, "Do you want me to just cut in front of the line for you and get you something?" I said, "I can do that because I'm the talent." But she heard that I'm Italian, and she just went with it. She's like, "Oh yeah, well, I have Italian friends, so it's cool." And that was very nice of her to yes and me, even though it was not even a joke. And I had a big laugh afterward. She was probably like, who is this guy? Why does he think he is funny? And he's absolutely not. And thus began a beautiful friendship. Attack players to try and steal echoes from their hands or their forge. You play reflex cards, use card abilities to surprise your opponents, or make deals to use the unique abilities of other players. Okay, so it's not just 2 players. Maybe it is, but maybe it's not. But with all these games, it feels like they're best at 2 players, you know? Otherwise, it's king-making. Position your units in one of 2 lanes. Move your units to the positions where they'll best support each other to create powerful synergies. Okay, so you just have 2 lanes you have to worry about. Simpler, better than 3 because you have other stuff going on. Draw back up to 8 cards at the end of every turn. Never worry about running out of options. But if you only have 30 cards, oh, that's because you're going to be mixing in, I guess, these land cards or echoes, right? Yeah, let's see the rulebook. That makes sense. The setup will be like, shuffle in X amount of echoes. Once scored, echoes are completely safe. It cannot be taken away. Okay, that's good. So you don't have that tug of war. You know that tug of war? When you just go back and forth? Yeah, we've heard about it in Odalin. We'll talk about it more when we get to Odalin, but you have two. It's weird. It would be weird if there were more players in a tug of war, right? Because instead of 2, you would have like 4. You would have 4 just like pulling each other back and forth and just really tugging on each other and just yanking each other around. And then one person might get over yanked, which which would be weird. So I prefer when it's a tug of war just to have 2, because honestly 2's kind of all I can manage. But if there's 4, like if you're juggling, I only have 2 hands, right? And so like 2 methods of reaching out to people. So when you get a third one in, it's just, what do you use? I don't know what you would use whatsoever. See, 2-player game in progress. You got to go with the 2-player game. Well, you don't have to go with the 2-player game. Depends where you are. You got a big enough table. All right, let's get back on task. Attack, the amount of damage, the amount of armor, the abilities, card type, maximum health, forge cost, number of turns it will need to sit in the forge until it can be revealed. So it is that progressive waiting to activate stuff. I think this looks fun. I like that idea of potentially, having to invest time into these things and then not being able to use them later on could be interesting. Yeah, receives 20 echoes, shuffles them into the deck. There we go, 50 card deck. Oh, you scrap any reflexes you control. So basically there's trap cards. It is!
So it's just like Duel Monsters.
It is! We got there. I mean, that's gotta be what that means, right? Oh, cool, you can place the talent in the middle space if the card's not complete. If the card is complete, but you're not ready to reveal it. I like that too, you can choose. Yeah, they say don't be a dick, just like let each other have fun combos. Reflexes, page 16, yeah. Units go into your lanes. Augments attached to a unit or a facility. Facilities are forged left to your leader card, so they're constant abilities. Oh, dang, they're the only cards that do not enter the forge. Reflexes take effect immediately as soon as you move a number of citizens from your citadel onto the reflex. Okay, defensive position, so I want to look at it. Target a unit in combat, it gains +1 armor for each other unit in its lane. Okay, so reflexes are known, so it's not quite a trap card. Dang. Yugi, take it back. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Yugi. I'm sorry, it's different. I don't make the rules here, I just read them. Hopefully correctly. When can I play a reflex? My turn. Growth, upkeep, no. Forge, combat, move. You can't draw. In between players' turn, yes. Yeah, because it said it was all about, there was bluffing involved, right? Yeah, because you're bluffing as to what you're putting down. They all have the same backs. So we're seeing, is it a unit or is it an echo? I think I quite like this. Citizen tokens, a bunch of cards. Yeah, I mean, this looks good. I mean, I'm not going to get it because shipping to Canada is $21, cost me $100. But if you're a fan of this genre, I think this does feel really unique compared to all of the Yu-Gi-Oh clones and the Duel Monster clones that are out there. I think this does look quite nice. And for the core game, yeah, I mean, if you're clearly fans are getting it and they're getting all the 10 decks, I think this could keep you going for a long time. I hope the asymmetry is interesting, but I think the flow of it and the system seems quite exciting to me, for real. So if you're interested in that, that finishes Thursday, July 11th at 3:59 p.m. Definitely seems really cool. And I am very surprised. Yeah, for 2 to 4 players, right? But it probably just is a 2-player game. If you're getting this for a 4-player experience, I wouldn't bet on it. Right, because that's sort of attacking each other and like choosing who to attack. It's not like you're going to attack everyone, unless it is. You can only attack players on your left and your right. So in a 4-player game, you can't even touch somebody 7 Wonders style, right? And the lane you're choosing to attack from does not determine the lane you're allowed to attack, which I even think matters, shows that it's a 2-player game. But still, I think it looks quite nice. So check it out. Moving along to Odalin, because you're not allowed to get it. That's what the 5 reasons you shouldn't back said. Odalin, Dungeons of Doom, that's somebody put that in a comment. And whoever you are, that was a very funny joke that I did not save for the right time. I didn't. I got too excited thinking about how funny it is. So give yourself a double pat on the back, a double tug on your front, and one of those expressions is correct. And yeah, we can experience the thrill of classic dungeon crawlers infused with great strategic depth. Go check out the 5 reasons you shouldn't back Odalin. I don't anticipate there's much that's been changed, except this 2-year guarantee of no reprint is when it is delivered. So I guess that's for everybody. I guess it's for every single person. Or is it when the first person delivered, or when it's the last person's delivered? I don't know. They probably have more specifics. But I was saying that it was probably 2 years from now, in which case it's not even a thing, and I still think it isn't a thing, because all it's doing is giving you artificial FOMO. Saying there won't be a reprint for up to 2 years means there will be a reprint, so you should be fine. I don't think you need another dungeon crawler, because nobody does. The genre is saturated, and let's get back to Euro games and cubes. I mean, the minis here look great. I will say that I got... they sent me Daenerys, which I haven't yet played with the standee edition, but they also sent me like a really friggin' bomb-ass dragon, which I would show you right now if I was in Toronto, but I'm not. But it was very cool. The painted version was also really cool. I don't know how much it is sort of valued at. It is valued at cool value, but I don't know if I would have paid as much as they were asking for it. Even still, I can say that their minis are well made if you care about minis in that regard. I think the dual cards, the deck construction aspect, if you're interested in deck construction in your dungeon crawlers, that might interest you. And of course, if you are interested in that tug of war. But again, Wormwood's tugging. Wormwood's tugging in multiple directions, Odalin. So I don't know if your tug of war is even that strong anymore. This one just might be a rub of war. It's not even good. It's not even funny. But yeah, otherwise, I covered it pretty decently in terms of everything that I could find about it. In the 5 reasons you shouldn't back, I watched a few videos, and it all kind of comes down to generic dungeon crawler, other than that tug of war mechanic, and those multi-use cards, and the amount of loot that you can get. So if those things like get your spine senses all a-tingling, yeah, sure, check it out. But also, let me emphasize to you, you have too many games. You have too many games, you have too many boxes, you have too many boxes on the way, and if you don't, you will if you get this game. So if you get this game, you can't get anything else. That's the rule. But if you're interested in Odalin, if it's an Odalin or a Nodalin, check it out. That finishes on the 11th at 6 p.m. We're going to keep moving to Jomsvikings. Classic Jom. I know it's probably Jomsvikings, or probably Jomsvikings. No, there's not even... I can't even mispronounce it worse than I have. Let's see what this one is all about. It's a tactical card game with deck building elements set in the amazing world of spacefaring Vikings. Sure. All right, so essentially you're space Vikings, well, as we knew, from Hemdall mercenary crew, Hemdall security, or Heimdall, or Heimdall, I think that's it. And you're going to go on a little battle to fight a bunch of space monsters. But in the competitive version, you want to steal those kills from everybody else. You want to be like my former friend and now nemesis Josh whenever we play Fortnite, who says, "Oh, I can't believe you got that kill. I did so much damage to that creature, but I didn't kill them." And then you get the points and you get the kills. That's a real life footage of any time we play that game. Combats are loosely based on blackjack. In order to score a hit and deal damage to a monster, you need to play cards with a total value lower than the critical hit value of your character card. You can push your luck, play the card from the deck. The total value exceeds the critical hit, the attack is a miss. Because you've not hit it critically. You haven't just poked it gently, but you've really just pushed and shot widely next to the person, saw the damage counter going up on a rock, and thought that you were dealing damage to the enemy. Not that I'm talking about anybody specifically. So it's about adding cards to maintain control, etc. The fights will take place on 3 different randomly selected planets. You score the most glory points by eliminating monsters, and by acquiring valuable equipment wins the game. You can also go up on a little tech track. Yes, give me the rule book. Thank you very much. You're going to have a number of different stats as well. You can do melee attack, magic attack, ranged attack. And so how do those interact with your cards? Do they interact at all? Probably just your equipment. So I feel like a lot of it's going to be just about this push your luck thing, since you don't want to let somebody else take your kill. You obviously want to just get the right amount to kill the monster. So it really will be Space Viking Blackjack. Okay, so these are just the amount of cards that you draw or can play. Oh, well, at least it's from the top of your deck, and it's not somebody else's deck. So you can be counting your own cards. That makes a little bit more of an interesting choice. So top, fate, and bottom is damage. I see. Is it the fate that needs to not go over their critical hit? Did I miss that terminology? Oh, right. It wasn't in the rulebook. It was on this page. Great. Play cards with a lower value than the critical hit value on your card. So it's probably the fate, hence the different reason. If the total fate value on all cards on the player's battlefield. So that's what it is. That's your bust number, and then it's the amount of damage that you do. Why you wouldn't just draw from your deck first and then just supplement it with cards from your hand? Not quite sure. But all your cards can do different abilities as well. So that's really why you want to keep on doing the cards or getting the lower cards. It's because they'll have different abilities. Then you deal damage to the monsters, and then the monster responds back, and then you keep on going. So once you've beaten your monster, you can take somebody else. It said in the video you could snake somebody else's kill, but I have not seen that here. Did I just skip over it? Maybe I skipped over it. Leave the planet. The they'll have no further interaction with monsters of other players. Then their monster counterattacks. So you just keep on going in this. So it's like a solo game. You flip up monsters, like, okay, I'll fight my monster. Did I win? You're not really interacting with anybody whatsoever. Don't know why. Then you're battling over glory points, but maybe you didn't get the glory points. By healing them. Oh, most of the negative interaction is done by healing the monsters of the other players are fighting with, enhancing their damage or granting them special abilities. So you're like, haha, your monster's harder to kill. I don't know. How much are you? 40 euros, 60 Canadian, and then stretch shipping is 5 euro to Poland, 14 to the EU, Canada, 20 euro. So it's like $90 for this thing for me. Really not that interested. I think it would get boring pretty quickly, unfortunately. But if you're interested in that, well, get it. That finishes on the 11th at 7 p.m. We're going to move along. We're going to keep on moving because we got to keep on moving. This is Rogue Seas. Step into the shoes of the infamous pirate captains to explore, plunder, and fight to uncover the lost riches of the San Miguel. Okay, a big old pirate adventure. Probably going to be expensive. All right, Rogue Seas, 59. That's pretty nice. Battle pirates, slay monsters, discover treasure, become the fiercest captain, run around on the sea, and shoot your guns. Face cunning merchants and fearsome monsters. What are the merchants? They're just trying to steal your money? Upgrading your ship, collecting treasure maps. Yeah, I'm going to need to see anything other than buzzwords. 1 of 8 different captains. Each captain is endowed with special abilities for different strategies. Sorry, don't know why I made that pause. So they just have these symbols on them. See? They got extra symbols. Chart your course. Roll our specially weighted dice where you can only get 1 result and maneuver your ship to the host of islands and ports for treasures and upgrades. That's good that the dice are weighted. I really hate when you get a set of dice and you throw them and they never hit the table because they just are infinitely light. It makes it very difficult to play the game. You got to spin them in midair. Cool. Oh no, that's the levitating dice, and those are bad. I know some of my patrons bought the levitating dice, the like $100 dice that just sits there and spins, and they say they don't work that well, which is very unfortunate. I think they said that it was one of the most infuriating products they've ever purchased. Hunt for Trevor. You got a hunch. I got a hunch that you better hunt for Trevor. Exploring the various islands on the map to discover buried Trevor. Trevor is down there. Trevor will give you both gold and notoriety. But once you visit an island, you can't return there for more Trevor because Trevor's like, listen, I'm a one and done sort of boy. But get those Trevor cards and then fight your enemies. Fight against merchant vessels to gain loot cards. Okay, that's why they're cunning. Build your crew. While in ports, you can use your notoriety to recruit crewmates. There you go. Get more crew onto your side. Upgrade your vessel. A big old sandbox, it seems. Fight monster. Unearth Trevor. Battle other players to secure 5 Trevor maps. And forge your name in legend. The official how to play. Well, how long are you? Ah, dang. So I'm watching this little how to play because, they do have the rulebook here, and I'm going to skim through afterwards, but it seemed pretty quick, so I wanted to see it. It's pretty decent so far to give you a sense. There's going to be a lot of sandboxing. You're going to go back to your port. You have 2 resources, essentially. Gold and notoriety. Gold upgrades your ship. Notoriety gets you crew cards. Crew cards, you can only have 1 of each type. So you can only have max 5 crews, but you can upgrade them, essentially, as the game progresses. I prefer more deck building excitement, but the upgrading portion might be okay. It just feels like once you have the 5 that you want, why are you ever going to go back to port? Maybe you're not. Maybe you should be in this race to get the most notoriety points, right? So that's a potential. Well, now that we're pausing, we're just going to go to the rulebook, I think. I like upgrading your ship. That feels nice to roll better dice, better weighted dice, thankfully. The first dice you roll, again, is not weighted, so it's tough. 2 actions you can take throughout. You can move and you can land, head to an island to uncover buried treasure, or dock to recruit crew, etc. So landing at an island, or you can attack, destroy enemy merchants, take on monsters, or battle other captains. So when you land at an island, you just place a marker on there and you draw a treasure card. Collect the reward of gold or notoriety, and then you can't go back to the island. Once you visit all 5 islands, you remove your player markers. Oh, you remove your player markers. Okay, except for the marker on the one you're currently on. In exchange, you receive 2 treasure maps. Sorry, I almost said it incorrectly. And you can revisit the other 4 islands for more treasure and more treasure maps. So Trevor will finally let you back. Trevor will take you back. It's okay. And then let's look at attacking. Attack, you roll your weapons dice plus any abilities that you have. Defender, you roll your weapons dice. So if you don't have good weapons, you're going to get pillaged continually. When a player reaches 0 health, it's over.
It's over!
Strong man, where'd you come from?
The pirate's life is the life for me.
Yeah, just roll your dice. It's buffed by any crew, essentially. You respawn. That makes sense. Defeat 4 merchants, you receive 1 treasure map. To win the game, you must have at least 5 treasure maps in your possession. In order to sail through the Infinity Storm and reach Trevor Island, you must upgrade to at least 16 health. Trevor Island's in the middle of the board, of course, because Trevor's our sweet savior. Okay, 59 though. Okay, so 81, so plus shipping would be $100 for me, as is the standard Kickstarter fare. 15 US. 15's good though. Shipping's decent. It would be 74 for anybody in the US. 74 US, which is about 100 Canadian. I think it looks fun. I think it looks lighter than it sort of puts itself out to be, but I don't see anything wrong with that. I think the amount of monsters and merchants that are around on the board can make it interesting or make and break it. The idea of just going to each island over and over, it's kind of sandboxy. There's a number of different things that you can do to get Trevor maps. So yeah, it's not that bad. Oh, that's a cool box. In the big deluxe pledge, or you can get metal coins and all that sort of stuff if you like that. Yeah, it's just crossed its funding goal, which that's very exciting for it. I think it deserves to be made. I think it would be a nice light game. I like the choices. I think it's going to be pretty simple. If you want a pick up and deliver game, more about the deliver, not about the picking up, or route optimization games, if you like that, you want that in pirate theme, you can check that out. The finish is Thursday, July 11th at 9 p.m. Moving along, let's keep it going to the Iliad and Ichor 2-player strategy games. 2 exquisite 2-player games of strategy and mythology by the legendary Reiner Knizia. Well, all right. Reiner Knizia's games are exquisite. He's just like going to have a new one on Kickstarter every day or every week. So let's see what these are all about. By Bitewing Games. All right, that's not going to tell me anything. We got to keep it moving. 2-player, I don't think Lost Cities is that good. I disagree, John Perkis. It's not a game every couple needs. But Reiner Knizia is obviously a great designer, and hey, a 2-player game has a nice price point as well. $29 or $29 for both. Do you get a discount? You do not. They say you get a $79 value though, but they're still selling them for $29. So no discount. No discount for you. Not even $5 to make it worth your while, to incentivize all you deal seekers out there to pull the trigger. Nope. If they'd charge $5 cheaper, they would have $2,000 less. So Iliad is a tile placement game for 2 players featuring powerful tile abilities and diverging victory objectives. Okay. Oh, I like this placement around the outside. That seems neat. And then Ichor is an asymmetric strategy game that looks a bit like chess-ish. Okay, Iliad, how to play. Let's go. Bundle and save. It's 29 plus 2. Times 2, rather. I wish it was 59. I really wish it was 59. All right, Iliad. How to play. You place a tile adjacent to an opponent's tile. Okay, so you're always in direct conflict. Activate the tile's special ability. Like, for example, move a tile of your opponent's. Score the complete rows and columns. Add up the value of your tokens. The player with the higher strength claims a token, and their opponent takes the other one. Oh, okay. So you lay these tokens out. You see what's going to be negative. There's always going to be a positive and always going to be a negative. But it's not a horrible situation to lose the war or lose a battle. You'll get some negatives. Earn the favor of all 5 gods to win, or score the most points if both players collect all 5 gods. I like that. You get all 5 gods, then you just have to monopolize one color, and then you win, right? Because then your opponent can't get that. Midweight Knizia. Let me see the rule book. That felt like a pretty good explanation of it. I doubt the rules are that heavy. 8 pages. There might be some extra flavor in here, I'm sure. All tile effects are optional. But the placement rules, I think, always have to be alternating, right? Like, that's just, you must be alternating. And that's why there's red and blue squares. You can only place them on the red and blue squares. And if you're colorblind, well, there's red and blue squares. But luckily, they're sort of alternating, and you can just choose. So that's probably fine. Oh, wow. That seems like a very powerful tile. Because there's going to be tiles that are left over, right? You have 3 of each value. You're drawing 2 tiles from your deck and randomly place them face up. Then you have 2 tiles in your hand. Yeah, I really like the movement ones because as you can see here, like this line was already completed. This column, rather, was already completed. And then clearly one got moved to another spot. So the shifting powers here could be fun. Use your deck of tiles. Most points wins. Victory is determined if you have more than 1 god token of the same type. Only count your highest value token for each god. That makes sense. Furthermore, add all of your non-god tokens, both positive and negative values, to your score. So these special tokens are super huge. I mean, obviously, just by a glance, blue is going to win this game because red has -10 and -5, and blue has +20. So I don't even need to add anything up to know that blue is going to win. Oh, and there are wild ones that aren't worth points in case you get choked out. Reposition one of your opponents, reposition one of your own, swap your success tokens, and turn this tile face down, then turn one of your neighboring tiles also face down. Interesting. Oh, so they don't score points? And then there's some tiles that assume the value of the ones next to it. Yeah, it's neat. $29. Decent. If you're a 2-player person. If you are a 2-player person, if you are 2 people, then you might like it. Let's see Ichor. Number 1, move your character in a straight line as far as you wish. Everyone's a queen, as it should be. Work. Or until you run into another figure, leaving behind a trail of your tokens on each space you pass over. Or activate one-time abilities. Each character has a special one-time ability, so you can push people out of the way. Control Olympus. Win by placing out all of your tokens. So run in a straight line, but you're going to block people. Add in special gate powers from the Reinforcements and Gates expansion. Sure. Play with 2 of the 8 gates. Move horizontally through a gate to trigger a powerful effect. The Transform lets you transform into a new character. Look at that. And you can overtake your opponent's stuff as well. So it's not a permanent thing. You just have to get all of your pieces out on the board. All right, I get that. This one might seem more exciting to me. You can play a 6x6 or a 7x7. Follow the description on the figures card. And they all just have different movement abilities that you have to keep track of. Yeah, it seems fun. Yeah. I mean, both of them seem fun. And hey, you can get a $0 deal. So $79 value. Let's see, is shipping $21? I hope so. USA 4. Whoa. Oh yeah, Bitewing Games always has pretty good shipping. They subsidize it. So that's pretty good. 62 for 2 games, you know. 33 for a Knizia 2-player game if you like that head-to-head tactical stuff. I don't often get those to the table, even though I do like them. I'll prefer something a little bit more meatier that has more players, or yeah, just something else, just not this. But if you're in the US, Canada, shipping's nice. It must be fulfilled through BoardGameTables.com. Sorry, I'll play, because it looks like a direct replica of their shipping table. So yeah, check it out. You can check that out if you're interested. That finishes Friday, July 12th at 12 a.m. We're going to keep it moving to Valerius, a game of interstellar warfare, except we're not, because Valerius did the $1 pre-pledge that I think is stupid and hate. So guess what, Valerius? Congratulations on your no free coverage from me. Let's move on to things that actually deserve it. To Road to Hollywood, a role-play party game. Create your own movie. Gather friends and family in this innovative role-play game night. I've never said no to a bit of role-play. Sometimes I have. I'm sorry, the beginning of this video looks like a Fabio fever dream, right? I'm fairly certain this could be the trailer for Spicify 2 or Road to Hollywood. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm going to assume it's Spicify 2. Spicify 2, viewers welcome. Oh, this is great. It only takes 3 hours to make a movie. Perfect. I didn't know it was so simple. What I'm most intrigued of is that in this game there is like a costume role where it's like, I know everybody wants to just hang around and film a fun movie together, but you drew the costuming role, so you get to go to Value Village and go get us all fun costumes, and then we will play the game. That's kind of how it feels like to me. It seems like you get dual roles. You get makeup, you get location, you get costume. Just like a fun way to film something with your friends. Or even catering. You get the catering role. Yes, you have to be the craft services truck. Please go get us a bunch of toast and candy. And then it also says follow the shot list. So you have to do what they tell you to do. That doesn't feel like there's that much creativity. Doesn't seem like the director role is very significant. I mean, how much are you? Let's see. 94 Canadian? I guess you gotta pay for the app. For a bunch of cards? For you to just make a bunch of archetypes? And to assign roles for somebody to cook for you? Oh, what's the shot list? Each scene is broken down into shots, so it gives you a guide. It gives you a nice guide of how to film your little movie. Comes with temporary tattoos. Okay, that's kind of fun. But, like, come on. Nah, I don't think so. But I'm glad people are enjoying it and getting it. That finishes Friday, July 12th at 11. Let's keep it moving to Tsukuyumi. Full Moon Down returns once more with all new expansions and a full reprint. I've been interested in Tsukuyumi, and based on nothing other than hearing its name and hearing it in context with other games that I have played. So let's actually learn about it and inform ourselves rather than just buying wildly. Well, I mean, that gets me excited about the expansions for sure. It says that it's all new content just to add variability to your expansions, right? New classes and new ways to customize your current classes, which is neat. Now's the best time to ever enter this universe. You win by using all the elements in your favor and not by counting on luck. Combat was without randomness. The attacker already knows the outcome of his attack before even attacking, but doesn't know at what price it comes because his defender gets to choose. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, you probably will know what price it does come if you know the price, the potential prices. Cool, yeah, I get that the asymmetry is cool, but let's figure out how to actually play. You draft to complete the unique faction and you build a map to suit your faction's strategic goals. So I guess you get to build the map slowly. That is actually the best part of Twilight Imperium, I will say. Getting to draft the map placement in the modular board is more fun than anything that game has to offer. And so if this includes that, that's exciting because it is the best part. Draft and resolve your action card. White phase, choose a flexible action each round. Blue phase, use a special faction action and manipulate initiative order. And then green phase, produce new units, influence the Oni. There's going to be some monsters on the board, and that's why there's extra kaiju. Probably won't have that much of an asymmetric explosion as much as it's telling you to, because that mechanic kind of already existed, which is also fine by my parts. Just adding in variability is what I like. And then red phase, move your units and execute combat actions for conflict and control. Yeah, download the rulebook. Let's see. 31 pages. Okay. 2-player. No. Why are there 2 rulebooks? This book contains definitions and explains basic mechanics. And everything else refers to cards, factions. Yeah, that's great. Goal of the game. Over 4 rounds, most victory points. Victory points are awarded for each area you control at the end of the 4th round, so it doesn't matter what you control starting out. Holding the center area of the moon at the end of a round, so that does matter at the end of the round. Fulfilled missions and faction goals, placement on the initiative track at the end of the 4th round. Okay, so you get some points there. And special opportunities to collect victory points by some factions. Note, victory points from territories account for 70% of the total points, so it is a core area control game with a little bit of peppered variability in there. Dang, right off the bat, like, boom, this is how you do a friggin' good rulebook. This is how you get somebody excited, yeah. Oh no, I think I'm going to be excited about this. Let's see. Well, I like area control, right? I do like area control. I just like control in general. In combat, the attacker must always decide to either conquer an area or attack other units. Okay. Action cards determine all actions possible. Yeah, you can see on all those different phases which ones you're going to get to take. So it's really going to be about that pre-planning. All right. That the AP that I can feel myself being prone to there doesn't excite me that much. Yeah, each round an action card is divided into 4 phases, right? That's what we saw. Well, that's what I saw in the video. I guess you didn't see that. Oh no. We saw it in the GIFs. We both saw it together. 8 general actions. Event action. Play event cards. Faction action. Change initiative. Yeah. Produce. Get units or materials. Oni placement. The neutral Oni faction on the board. Oni conquest. You must move the Oni and perform a conquest. That's how you can take out your opponents without worrying about damaging yourself. Movement, moving all your people, and combat. Defenders then select a counterattack from this combat card as their reaction. After the 4th round, and therefore after every player has used a total of 4 action cards, the game ends. Yet, how long is this? I bet it's still like 2 hours, right? Yeah, 90 to 180 minutes. Yeah, at least 2 hours. So many decisions are being made in this drafting. Cool. Yeah, love that. Love that tile placement. Tsukuyumi is meant to be played with 2 players. Okay. And from 3 up to 6 players. You still need additional factions to play 5 to 6. So, okay. So it's a 2 to 4 player game. It's meant to be played with 2, but it's also meant to be played with more. Okay. Mission goal, faction goal. You can still ignore those and get a 70% success. By use of the special 2-player cards. So, no. It's meant for 2 players. You know what? I kind of believe them, but it's fine. But it's only a 3-round game. All right. I kind of want to just look at combat. That's all I really feel I need at this point, since that's going to determine a lot of how you move, how you interact with each other. Here's how you take control over an area. Place a territory marker in the area. It stays in that area. Or a unit with the property burrow grants automatically control over the area. There can only ever be 1 territory marker in an area. So once you control it, you can move on. As long as nobody goes back to it, you're safe. So much open information, though. Like, everything is open information. Even the event cards that you get, it's like, hey, it's open information. They can possibly use that. So it is really deterministic. And then you're drafting your cards, and you're going to give the cards to the next person. Jeez, there's so much. I just see, like, the potential for so much AP here. Because you can move into somebody's place without doing the combat action, right? Because the movement happens before. As long as you have enough units, if you're equal to or that of the defender, you just have to put the territory, and that's where initiative is going to really come into play. Okay, and taking damage, it's very much like Magic in terms of you choose who's going to take the damage. Interesting. How much are you? I know it's going to be bonkers expensive. Starter pack. Tsukuyumi, Full Moon Down, 2.5, 93 euros, 137 Canadian. That's about what I expected, honestly. Shipping is, again, kind of what I expected. No, base game, 17 euro. Canada, 27. So it'd be like $200 for this thing. And if you want to get returning backer all in, which gets everything, or all in price reduced, thank goodness, it's only 412 Canadian, like $500 for this game. No. This looks very interesting. I'm intrigued for sure. I like a lot of the things that it's doing. I like how much agency it gives to each player, but I also think like the number of different factions seems awesome. I think it's going to be really analysis paralysis prone. And I am very analysis paralysis prone, and so I can't get it because my friends will hate me. But if you're interested, if you want your friends to hate you, you can get that. That finishes Friday, July 12th at 1:04 p.m. We're going to keep it moving to Lucky Bears. Ugh. Bears, a national parks board game. Collect, steal, and sneak your way to victory through the U.S. national parks. Yeah, and into people's houses to steal their family by a mom and daughter team who love national parks and games, and apparently kidnappers. Let's see what this one's all about. Very quick game. Probably shouldn't take too long. Okay. That didn't tell me much about the game. It might just be like a push your luck game, a lightweight game with strategy. Shy away from games with complicated rules or lengthy play times. Yeah, that's fair. A lot of people do. We don't want to get those lucky bears or the greedy bears or the hungry bears. I don't want to meet any of the bears. They can really change the game at any moment. Oh, and there's more grizzlies in the box. Oh no. The trauma. The trauma. 2-player board, so it's a 2-player game, but you can buy 2 versions if you want to play 4. You just play next to each other. Yeah, I've got a cool way of turning. Dang, my game only plays 4 people. That's okay. I'll buy another one, and it'll play 8. You just sit next to each other and play the game, and then compare your scores. That's essentially what Wingspan does. Explore all the national parks. Okay, but tell me, yes, here's a quick rundown. Take a token, admire the park, watch out for bears. What are the rules? Please, Annabelle, tell me the rules. I prefer to read them. Yes, I do. Thank you for adhering to my learning style with your 2-pager. The first player to complete their board in full numerical order wins. Okay, at least there's something. You draw 1 token at a time. You place each tile on your board, always staying in numerical order. You can choose to swap tokens by replacing 1 board token with a new one. Okay, so it's like there was one of these. It's a co-op game. They played it on board game night on BGG. Had like clovers or something. It's not so clover, but what is it? What thing was called Lucky Numbers? No. Yeah, what's the luckiest number? Lucky numbers. Oh, am I good or am I good? The answer is you're not that good. You're full of yourself, you piece of garbage. Yeah, reminds me of Lucky Numbers where you're constantly trying to swap these to make a grid, but you're working together in a sense here, and you have to organize, I think, rows and columns together. I think that's what they're trying to say here. Ugh. Wait, the bears are lucky. Used to remove any token from an opponent's board. Ugh. Steal a token. Ugh. These bears are freaking horrible. That's awful. Yeah, so it's kind of a push your luck. They're all numbered then. 63 national park tokens are numbered from 1 to 63. And then you want to get them all out on your board because if you haven't given yourself enough of a gap, then you will run out of space. And if you get the lucky bear, well, you're a lucky bear. Think so. Okay, face up in the middle as well when you swap something out. How much are you, though? Oof, $30 plus shipping. $10 a box just to the United States. So it's $40 total to get a bunch of these tokens. Yeah, shipping's annoying. We get it. That's why they're going with a flat rate. I guess because they're only shipping them and they'll be shipping them by themselves, right? Like they're just a small team. So it's not bad, but I think if you're interested in it, you could just get Lucky Numbers, which is probably cheaper somewhere, unfortunately. Oh, how'd you get there? Oh, get away. Get away. Man, I wish I had purchased allplay.com. I would have. Oh, I could have a down payment. Oh, dang it. Yeah, it seems, lightweight. Seems it hits what they're going for sure. That finishes Friday, July 12th at 2 p.m. Let's keep it moving. We're on to Blood. From bears to blood, the natural progression of things. Lead a weird party of anti-heroes against terrifying vampire champions into Dracula Castle. An epic boss battler game, because we haven't seen those lately, for 1 to 4 players with innovative mechanics, engaging tactical fights, and top-notch quality miniatures. Okay, let's see. I mean, I think this is the best name for a game, for this sort of style of game, that anyone could ever come up with. You get like the darkest terror in the blackest night, or you get Doom Brigade punching you in the face with monsters, or you get Sephiron's Void, the Scraxel's Return, or you can just have, what do you want to play? Blood. What's that? Blood. What's it about? What do you think? I do love how in the video they're like, yeah, really easy save system. It's so quick and easy as all the components float off of the off of the board into many piles. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be simple. Totally, you can save it. It's not gonna be frustrating at all with all these tokens. Nah. Setup's a breeze. Oh, nice. Great job, Ludus Magnus. You're going the Awakened Realms route. That's awesome. I wonder how many people have gotten the standees and how many have done the minis. Also, great price. You know what I mean? Like, you see the difference between it. This is what I really like to see. I like to see this affordable option. I don't like to see this friggin' all-in pledge that people are going to just upsell themselves to get. But I think this feels really nice. Premium edition won't be possible to distribute it in stores, like almost all of our games. Cool. But they're going for retail with the standees. I don't know. I just really like seeing that. That's exciting. Blood is life. Blood is life. And you get a vampire boss if you get it now, which is, there's your carrot. That's all you need. I think this is also the right way to do a campaign. You do daily stretch goals and you do economic stretch goals. Yeah. Oh, and social stretch goals. Yeah, for sure. To be honest, though, how are you not going to get the minis if you're interested in this game? It's tough because they're very fun. But again, like whatever the last 5 reasons was. Grim Coven, if you can't see yourself playing this game with the standees, why are you getting it? You need to at least consider it before you upsell yourself. You need to think, would I enjoy this game playing with standees? And if the answer is no, then you should not be getting the game. Or you're getting it to paint and that's it. But just be honest with yourself. Perfect. Oh, look, it's Rado. Perfect likeness. Oh, look, it's what Rado's going to feel after hearing that joke. Anger. Oh my god, I thought Michaela had 2 arms. But that's the braid in the background. Let's be real, Michaela can get it. Let's be real, Vlad can get it. I can feel, oh no, let's be real, Razvan can get it.
Yes, I'm the cutest one in the world.
Is that Razvan's voice? Have I done that voice yet? I don't know. Okay, I want to know how to play. See, I'm already getting drawn in. This is why campaigns are structured this way, because you see this friggin' beautiful weaver ready to spew his silk all over you, and you just get enraptured by their venomous vampiric stare, and you don't realize that there is a game here as well. You're just like, ooh, scary, spooky, time for Halloween. Alright. Laverne? Where's Shirley? No, it's not Shirley. That is terrifying. This art is friggin' bomb. Okay, so we have story mode, roguelite, or single battle modes. There is a story mode, though, which seems interesting to me. A 6-quest campaign will lead you through raids and face the wrath of Vlad. So essentially you're just going through and you're like facing one boss, then another boss, then another boss, then another boss, and potentially upgrading your people as you go on. Roguelite, you'll go on runs, is essentially the story mode, what the story mode will be, but you can randomly generate it. So you can keep on doing that story mode as you keep going. And then single battle, you just pick one and then you fight them. There is the potential here for all of those modes to work. Because I think I can see how they're created. Rulebook, yes, I am curious. It's an alpha version, yes, of course. Ooh, this is a big one. But we just want to see a few parts. Compendium of rules, right? We don't need to worry about the red sections of the rule book. We just want to get the flow, make sure that we have the flow correct. In case I missed it, blood is always divided into 2 main parts, day part and night part. During the day part, players spend resources, improve their equipment. During the night part, they get scared. Game turns, players play tactic cards, planning a strategy. Yeah, your day phase is your upkeep phase. The troopers. I really like the theme of this. Like, I love this sort of vaudeville mishmash of characters. That's very fun. But theme can only get you so far. 6 trooper item cards associated with them. As they begin, they're turned on the starting side. Then they can upgrade themselves, probably. Turning them to the advanced side. Okay. The hollow pumpkin. When a skull enters a hex with one of your brass knuckles inside of it, you can perform against that skull. An unlock action. And a little spiral where you stab them with a sharp, bloody triangle 3 times. I think I got that iconography. Tactic cards, they allow you to do actions. Heavy iconography, seems. One of the 6 arts, funambulism, emphasis on the fun. Delirium, emphasis on the lyrium. Alchemy, emphasis on the al. Juggling, emphasis on the jug. Enchantment, emphasis on the men. And Pax, I don't know. I don't know why that made me laugh. Oh, okay, come on. We gotta keep it going. I do like the base of these minis, that there are 3 sides of it that you're going to have to attack. The front, the back, the left side, and the right side. See, like, I take all of your wallets so incredibly seriously that I'm like, I know so many of you are chomping at the bit to add another big box mini game to your collection. And I know that I need to delve into this and see if it's right for you. Because I know that I've been saying that it looks cool too much already. But it physically looks cool. Mechanically, I do not know yet. But I want to emphasize that because I know that you're all a bunch of addicts out there. Okay? Except for the real MVPs who just tune in to hang out with me and have themselves a little chuckle. Me too. That's what I want. Then there's going to be reaction cards because they're going to be laid out in that timeline. I still haven't seen how that timeline works yet. 27 pages in, we've finally gotten through all the keywords. Now you're ready to learn the flow. Jesus. Yeah, day part is easy. You heal, it's upkeep. You buy stuff. Fine. How long is each thing? That's what I'm wondering. The night is long and full of terror. This one feels like it was designed more for the story mode and the roguelite mode. Like, if you're just getting it for a one-shot, I don't think you'll be as satisfied with it as you would if you're with the other modes. I guess you probably have just guessed at that, though, from the description. All right, beginning of the night, you draw 5 cards. That makes sense. That's usually the amount of cards in your hand. All effects that read at the beginning of the night, you resolve them. Then here we go. At this time, players take game turns until they are declared winners or defeated. So the day phase just happens at the very beginning. The day phase is that upkeep phase, again, only pertaining to that roguelite or that upgradable story mode that you're going through. Otherwise, you're just fighting at night. That's it. So you're going to play cards on this chain, which advances the threat token on the corresponding track, which causes the nemesis to react. Over here, boom, 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 and when it gets, I see, so boom, 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 you have all these spots. When it hits another thing, a new card comes out, then reveals another reaction card. When you rest, you generate a threat, and then you get to draw cards. Yeah, draw back to 5. Okay, so everybody's gonna have to rest at some point. You don't want to rest, you're doing nothing, but the game still advances, because the night is long and full of terrors, and dark and full of terrors. Yeah, to the left over here is where the minions are gathering, and over here the nemesis are gathering. Then there's a cleanup where you remove any resolve tokens on the night board, remove tactic cards on the night board, and remove any reaction cards on the night board. Okay, so as you chain things together, you want to go blah, 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 and you can, I think you can manipulate that row and remove cards and play cards to kind of give yourself more actions. But it seems like if there are 4 players, you're going to get 4 actions on average, right? And then the nemesis might move forward and reveal things and then react. So it's just that, again, that flow of you take actions, the enemy takes actions. It feels like it is more hyped up, I guess, in the description, but it's just kind of a normal of, I'm going to play a card, then you're going to play a card. And the flow of it is kind of, I guess, a bit like Monster Hunter, where you're playing up these cards and you're going to run out of room to play these cards, but the monster will then react to it. Okay, that's good. Like, this is good for me to isolate, because I felt myself being drawn in so much by the theme. And then here, I'm like, is it that different? Is it that unique? I don't know. Like, the theme itself gets it to be unique. There is definitely is that. But then, like then we get to the rules compendium. It's incredible to me that in this 48-page rulebook, right, the night phase, which is where you'll take all of your actions, if it's not in the story mode, is one page, 2 page, 3 pages. It is 3 pages, essentially, to learn how to play the flow of this game. Now you're going to be interacting with different things and interacting with different terrain and interacting with different minions, and the minions will then respond, and there's going to be that upkeep, and the boss is going to move around the battle, and it's not like there's going to be a lot going on, but mechanically and in terms of game flow, there's not as much going on as I was expecting there to be. It's all based around the individual effects and the iconography and the different abilities that you can do, which, you know, is hard to guess at this point. So the Endless Night edition, the essential edition is €65, 97 Canadian, or the premium edition is 163. Sort of standard market rate, I feel, for this. I think it's really nice to have a standee version. And now, having read the rulebook, I don't know if I would take as much joy in the standee version. And that indicates to me that it is the minis and the gorgeous art and all of that that's bringing me in, which is fine as long as you recognize that. But I know that that won't be enough for me to get it off the table for me personally. Also, shipping is going to be, even for the essential, €37. Oh, God. So it's still $150 at least to get to me in Canada. €25 to get to the US, EU €20 to get. So for those big ones, it's still at least $200. And for something that I'm sort of middling excited about in terms of the actual flow of the game, this is why you read the rulebook. Because Chris in another life would have backed this and be like, yeah, this is probably amazing. I love those little gestures. And then would have been disappointed down the line. But if you won't be disappointed, you can check it out. That'll finish on the 12th at 6 p.m. Let's move on to the next one. All right, let's move on to Hexplore, the mountains of Godai. For too long, we've angered the gods and lived our lives with reckless abandon. I wish. I really wish. For those mistakes, the whole of existence is on the brink of collapse. Oh no. Let's hope that one of the 5 great titans doesn't smush us, squish us like a bug. All right, it's a big old tower defense game. Playtime 3 hours. Wow. You know, a hero building tower defense unlike any other. The 5th volume in the Hexplore gaming universe. For generations, the empires of our realm have exploited its riches without heed. We've waged ceaseless wars, oblivious to the blessings bestowed upon us. So now we have a big old tower defense against those gods trying to wipe us out because we're the friggin' scum of the earth and we don't know how to be good people. 2 different maps, well, 2 different tiles that you set out for maps. I find Hexplore is one of those game systems that I think I've looked at before, and I don't think they were a tower defense before, but I don't know. I've never really known what a Hexplore system is. Every time I've looked at it, it's like my eyes have glazed over and sloshed off the page. My memory has forgotten entirely anything that is beneficial to me. And so this time, I'm going to try to focus, even though I am still distracted. Fended off by a bunch of siege opponents represented by 5 miniatures, divided into 2 types. Magnetic, which attracts siege opponents, and non-magnetic, must be placed and upgraded wisely to optimize defense. Unique to this game, heroes aren't permanently killed when they fall in battle. Instead, they are resurrected by the city-state they serve, ready to fight again. Give me the rule book. Oh, look at that. Look at that lovely jump to the rules. That's quite nice. Central to the system, here's what Hexplore is. Thank you for answering my question. Lies its hero building strategy. Players craft their heroes by combining various character options, role, race, trait, and aspect. Your role embodies your hero's profession, while your race denotes your heritage and species. Sure, who cares? And then there's a bunch of customization. Each volume is a sandbox containing a bunch of unique cards. Yeah, I remember Valley of the Dead King, and then I've seen the other ones seem a bit familiar to me. Core box is $69, 96 Canadian. Yeah, okay, let's get to the rulebook. Mountains of Godai may also be a challenging starting point into the series, as discussed below. Although we're taking steps to transition new players into this rich world. Great. Apparently Valley of the Dead King is the easiest to jump into. So don't get this one. 112 pages. I see. 112 pages. Okay. Well, we're gonna skim then. Maybe we won't learn what Hexplore is. We know it's tower defense. Do you like that? Somewhat. The group vanquishes. Here's how you win. You can kill Jathy, the level 10 boss. At least one city-state is alive when the last siege ends, or Jathy, the siege opponent, is destroyed by defenders. So you can kill Jathy. A city-state's alive, or you can kill Jathy. Perfect. Okay, there are 5 siege decks that you gotta work your way through. So you're going to get a hero, you're going to build on your hero with all the different stats that you can mishmash from any volume. They're saying, hey, familiars can be in volume 4, aspects are in volume 4, traits are in volume 1 to 3, right? And you're going to use all of those to create a completely unique character. That's, you're building that before the game even begins. Then after you've gotten those traits, you then pick your hero that can contain those stats. Oh, it's nice to give you a little randomization table. Yeah, that's how I would want to do it. You're going to work your way through the siege deck until a siege card is drawn. Then there's going to be a siege stage where lots of baddies will be thrown at your way. Okay, here's sort of the friggin' 50 pages in. The overview of the game turn. You're going to have a bunch of things you can do, but you have the movement phase, skill phase, event phase, and the villain phase. In the movement phase, there's a harvest. You'll draw a card from the harvest deck. You'll play every sort of immediate effect, see how much you harvest, see where you need to go. I don't necessarily love that all heroes travel the board in one group. Use a hero mini of your choice to represent the group. The group begins play moving up to 4 hexes per turn. What's kind of cool with this siege element is that the villain can expose parts of the map and can explore parts of the map. Oh, if you travel by river or road, so the terrain actually does matter in terms of how you can encounter things as you go through. During the skill phase, each hero rolls their skill dice. At the same time, skill rolls made are stat tests. Page 16. Results that are less than or equal to the hero's matching skill are successful. See, critical successes and failures are possible. See page 56. Jesus. It's a tower defense game. The villains will move. It seems like a little bit overwrought, complicated system. I agree that today's not the day in which I learn about Hexplore. I'm not going to take the $20 of shipping. Nah. I don't think so. Is this £3 the first game? I don't know. I'm going to assume it is, but, you know, can't always do that. Yeah, sorry. This system just seems like... I mean, clearly people who are interested in it, who like the system, are probably coming back. I doubt people are coming in. I think they make it pretty clear on the campaign that, like, hey, this isn't for new players. And it certainly isn't for me after a long day. I think the barrier to entry here is very high, that only new players, that only returning players, rather, should consider it. New players should stay as far away as possible. I like the potential of customizing all the heroes, but it kind of feels a bit like customization for customization's sake. And how much different can these heroes be? I don't know. I really don't. We've got to move on because I'm just not going to crack this. I'm sorry. That finishes July 12th at 10 p.m. This is something more of my speed right now. Battle Bake, the ultimate baking showdown. What a difference. Deliciously fun board game where strategy and baking collide. Yeah, I can probably figure out the rules on this one for you. 2 to 6 players, 40 minutes. You'll take on the role of an adorable yet fierce baker with your own special ability. Retail edition, 36 Canadian. Sure, gourmet edition, 49 Canadian. Ooh la la. Here's what you do in your turn. You get to draw some ingredients. You use 3 action points to perform various actions. You can prepare ingredients. You can bake. You can display. And you can sell. So all in all, it's going to cost you, if it was just one ingredient, 1 action point to make something. You'd probably take more because you have to prep all of your ingredients first and then move them all over and then display, right? You can move and display and then have them ready to sell. Expect the unexpected as ingredients get swapped, recipes get sabotaged, and special abilities cause disruptions. 10 to 16 Canadian, that's pretty good. 13 to 21 Canadian, oh, Canadian company, baby. Calgary, Canada, nice. What? Where's your rule book? Yes. Thank you, that was close. I thought you were finishing up. I don't know what the tiers are for, because there's these sort of tiered ingredients. Maybe that's just... Oh no. Come on, we're so close. I do like that you're limited with your baking trays. You can prepare the ingredients. If you complete a recipe, yeah, you're going to have to move the combined ingredients. Maybe every recipe only costs you 2. But I do like that this board is limited. That's interesting, I guess. It does seem like you're getting... Draw 2 cards from either draw deck. I don't know what the tier 1 is doing, why it exists. Oh, evenly distribute all dessert cards face up. Oh, okay, so that's what you can make. So those are just all the stuff that you can build. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm going to say. It's a bit too much for me. It seems okay, just this little card driven. You're trying to be efficient in terms of gathering items and resources and ingredients, but you're also drawing those ingredients randomly. I do like that the ingredients have an ability on them, but I don't think it's for me. But if it's for you, you can go check that out. The finish is Saturday, July 13th at 12:50 p.m. Let's keep it moving to Treasure Goblins, a fast and easy tile placement game. Okay, cute. Love that. It's just a little polyomino game where you're trying to create a polyomino grouping of gems of the same color so that you can buy off the guards, get more money, and get more gems, etc. The game lasts 3 rounds. Download the instructions. I don't think I really need to, but I think it looks exactly nice and fine. Yeah, don't split your bag, or else all your gems will fall out. Placing a tile that overpasses the weight limit of 50, 51 breaks the bag, or the active tile can't place a tile on the board. Here's what you can do. Place a treasure onto the board, or steal from a soldier. If the piece you add adds the same number of gems to become equal or greater than the soldier requirement, you defeat him and take him as a prize. You only take the top one anyway. Keep playing until you can not lose. It's just a game about not losing. I mean, no, the richest goblin wins. That's why you want to steal from the soldiers as well. Plus, it delays you. Oh, the turn sequence would be as follows. 1, place a tile. 2, steal from a soldier. If the piece you add adds to the same type of gems. Cool. Yeah, I'm into it. I think it looks fun enough. Early Bird Treasure Goblins, 53. Dang. Or you can get the deluxe for 98? No. 53 plus shipping. I mean, I already know. It doesn't, even the shipping is free. 29. Like, oof. I know Mexico, though. Yeah, Mexico, 6 to 8. So it's super cheap to ship in Mexico because this is a Mexican game. I think it looks good. I mean, I think it's just overpriced for what it is. I don't really have any more critique other than that. Where is everybody from? Let's see. Mexico. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. 130 backers from Mexico and not many from anybody else. And I think that's exactly right. That's what it should be. But if you are in Mexico, let me Mexa know. And that finishes Sunday, July 14th at 12:53 p.m. And we're just going to look at it briefly because it gets us to Tuesday. We have Tale of Ale. The Viking saga begins. Prepare Viking clans for epic raid in this roll and write print and play strategy board game. The unsung hero who knows how to obtain shields and axes and ale for the whole Drakkar longboat crew. That's who you are. You'll roll your 2 dice. They don't tell you how you put them out. You use the numbers on this thing. I hope with that boring description you're going to give me something better. Okay, cool. 6 basic actions. The trading action must be performed with a proper die value. So anything in red, you have to roll that number. But there's a way to manipulate it. Otherwise, you're going to trade things into things. Otherwise, you can use your dice to go up here and get that much stuff. There are also 6 types of actions that may be used with a dice of any value. It can be used multiple times during the game, allow a player to gain resources, trade them for those a little more valuable, or equip a ship. Equipping a ship gives points equal to the value of the resources needed by that ship. After fulfilling the ship's request, the die that remains goes around this village path. Yeah, I mean, what is it? A $5 print and play? €5, $8 Canadian. I think if you like print and plays and roll and writes, there has some potential. There's a lot of different actions that you can choose from, so there's a potential that it might be fun. If you're interested in that, finishes Tuesday, July 16th at 4:02 p.m. That's it. That's it for the week. It's been a very long week, so I'm just going to cut right to the chase, and we're going to go through it together to do the crowdfunding grunt down, see where we're at, and see how we feel. Meh, yeah, no, yeah, no, absolutely not. I mean, yeah. I know I said a yeah, but it's 5 reasons you shouldn't back. We'll make sure you watch those. No, meh, yeah, absolutely not. I mean, meh, no, yeah, nah, yeah, and meh. There we go. That's the grunt down. Did I think about a pick for me and a pick for you? Let me think if I thought about it. I'm sure I did. I have one. You know what? I think I got 2. Pick for me is going to be Rise of the Wastelands. I think this looks like a fun little 4X. I think you get a lot of decisions. I like being able to upgrade your stuff. I like having to explore and not hexplore everything. Yeah, I think this one looks fun. This one jumps out to me. Although the standout, actually, surprisingly, is the dueling card game, Sovereign Fall of Wormwood. I think that looks really, really neat. I like the concept, and I like that delayed gratification. And yeah, I think Wormwood looks surprisingly fun. And I really didn't think it was going to be fun whatsoever. So those, I think, would be my 2. If I had to pick, I think they both might be kind of picks for me. They might not be picks for you. I don't know. Those just seem like the best ones of the week. But as always, make sure to back responsibly. You do not need to get more games. You really, really don't. I mean, come on. Be honest with yourself. You don't. You have enough on the way, and are any of these good enough to hit the shelf and beat the ones you have? Probably not, but I know you're going to try. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here week after week. You're the friggin' best, and I'm just an ordinary weirdo, so I just really appreciate it. My name's Chris George. I don't have a catchphrase, but I do have a very strong desire for sleep.